Skye Squad, we are back in the building, and we are going to be talking about Kenya Moore today. We got some interesting tea coming out of the legal documents, okay, from this divorce. All right, we got to talk about that, and then we got to talk about the ongoing saga that is the Real Housewives of Atlanta casting for season 14. Let me tell you, it's a merry-go-round. Okay, it's a merry-go-round, and round and round and round we go. Okay. Before we get into all that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button, join the text community. You guys can also follow me on my personal channel, Richie in Real Life, where I just kind of share behind the scenes stuff with you guys, like, travel vlogs, motivation, inspiration, all that kind of stuff like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into what we got to talk about today, which is first things first, your girl Kenya Moore. Okay, let's get into the tea that we got coming from the Radar Online. And I got to start with the headline because it's really, sometimes the headline can just, it could just send things into the stratosphere. And the headline reads, "The Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kenya Moore rushed to court demanding divorce records be sealed days before her Dancing with the Stars debut." Okay, so you guys know that her and Mark Daly are going through this whole nasty, bitter, ugly, crusty divorce. You know what I'm saying? And I say it like that because it seems like it's just getting to the point where it's rather contentious. You know what I mean? So anyway, here's what they have going on with Radar Online. They're saying that she doesn't want the public to know any of the details of this nasty split from Mark Daly. Now, apparently, they can obtain the court records and stuff like that. So they had gotten a hold to some of the documentation. And apparently Kenya filed a motion pleading for the case to be sealed and for her financial records to only be shown in court. Okay. So in the motion, she's basically quoted as saying, she's describing herself as a high-profile celebrity whose occupation is the source of heightened interest to the general public. Now, that is true. That is true. And let me tell you something. The moment those details are posted, Radar Online or some other outlet going to pick it on up. You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to post those details, i.e., the things that she owns that they might have to, split apart and whatnot, how much those things are worth, potentially, her salary from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I believe for Shannon Bedore, that information was definitely, in the court documents. I know from another source online that I saw the details of Sutton Stratt's divorce, and it was very telling how much, investment properties they had and stuff like that, how much she was able to get and obtain and whatnot. So it's very, and Sutton's was, whoo, that lady is rich, okay? Rich, okay? That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, now she is, talking about previous filings in her custody battle, and apparently they've been reported in the press like we reported on them before, okay? And she is said to be fearful of the information in future filings being written about and used to harass her. Now, quote, this is a quote from the statement. "Under normal circumstances, these would not be otherwise made available to the unknowing public due to the fact that such might subject the petitioner to heightened scrutiny, harassment, and may threaten her safety inasmuch as she is a public official should persons learn her financial status or other specific terms of her life." That's what her attorney wrote. Now, the judge has yet to rule on this motion. Now, again, I will place the link to this story from Radar Online down in the description down below so you guys can actually read it for yourself and get all of the tea. But I don't blame her. To be honest with you, I have never gone through a divorce. Don't ever want to go through a divorce. But I can only imagine, if I was somebody in her position where everybody knows who she is and, everybody's interested to know what the financial situation is like, mostly because we're on a show that we are supposed to be getting a glimpse of women who live behind the gates, as Nene Leakes used to say. Yeah, we want to know. We want to know. We are nosy. We want to see what these women are making. How do they live such high-profile lifestyles? We just want to know. It's natural curiosity. You know what I'm saying? It is. Because if you are showing us wealth and extravaganza, then we want to know how much wealth and extravaganza there is. It's just human nature. Now, should we be able to know that? No, probably not, which is, again, why I do agree with the core. I wish they would kind of seal this aspect, because I do feel like we want to know, but it should probably remain a mystery. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, let's get on to the merry-go-round that is the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 casting, okay? The casting kerfuffle of 2021, the great casting debate. Woo! It just thrills me how round and round we continue to go. But nonetheless, because it's in the news, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to speculate. Even if we're wrong, it's all in the fun of trying to figure out who it's going to be. What's going to be the configuration of the cast? What should be the best configuration of the cast? Because we invested. I know I am. Anyway, this is what the sources are saying. According to page 6 and Tamara Tattles, okay? Now, the information that I'm going to give you guys is most specifically from page 6, but I also did some research on Tamara Tattles. So I will place both of those links down in the description down below. Of course, Tamara Tattles is going to give you some more details about some other casting information, but I think the most important piece that we want to talk about today is the fact that Porsha is reportedly still in ongoing talks about season 14 of the Real Housewives of the Atlanta. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Just chime in the chatterization if you happen to be watching the show right now. Do you want your girls, do you want Porsha back on the show or not? I mean, that's really the core question here. Do you want her back on the show? I mean, that's a yes or no question. Do you want her back on the show? Because, you know, I mean, you know, last week we got this bit of tea right here that stated that, you know, Porsha would not be returning to the cast. We got this from All Over Anthony, an entertainment journalist who gave us the tea that said that this will be the new cast. We got the tea from B. Scott that it would be, we got the tea from Claudia Jordan that said, I know the new cast member, hint, I follow her and she's in the history books, leading us to the confirmation from B. Scott that this was our leading lady to be featured in the new cast. Now, according to Tamara Tattle, she's still in talks with the network to join. And of course, they still have to film. And you can go back to the B. Scott article first as well and see that they say the same thing, that, you know, she still has to be, you know, selected after the filming process has started. Because let me jump back on camera real quick. You know, sometimes they'll bring you in and you don't do so well. And then they got to put you to the side as a friend. And sometimes you do so well, a la Sutton Strack, that they bring you on in, okay, as a full-time housewife. Don't happen often, but it can. And it should. It should lead you to the promised land. That is if you do your job. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Meanwhile, let's get back to it. So, what are they saying? Okay. A lot of tea right here, a lot of tea. So page 6 is basically saying that she's still in communication with the network and in talks to participate in the season 14. The talks are ongoing. Now, here's what they say. In the past, the source told them, okay, that in the past, she's repeatedly told her castmates that she didn't want to come back to the show, even though it's a successful show and she's loved by fans. She thinks she might want to explore her career beyond the show. She's also worn out by Kenya Moore and all the drama she's put her through. Now, I can understand that part of it because at a certain point in time, you just kind of be like, now listen, how many times are we going to do this dance? You know what I'm saying? And the dance being Kenya versus Porsha, Porsha versus Kenya. How many more times can we see it? I ain't interested no more, okay? But let's get back to it. Now, they also say that, you know, because she's going to have her own spinoff, you know, and she's got the Bravo chat room, it's kind of like she really doesn't want to do the drama anymore, okay? Not to mention she has a new book coming out and there's a lot of opportunities. This is what another source is saying. There's so many opportunities for her right now that there's this feeling that she may have outgrown Housewives and could very well pull a Bethany Frankel or a Nene Leakes, where she takes time off and then comes back. Okay. Now page 6 is saying Cynthia Bailey's return is still a question mark too. All right. But you know, they do also like the fact that Drew's husband was a big part of the mix in last season's storyline. So she was one of the people that were definitely, you know, coming back, as well as Sheree. So it's a very interesting article, which kind of details basically some of the same sentiments from some of the previous, you know, articles that we had spoken about, where it looks like this is mostly the confirmation of the cast, with Porsha still being on the fence, and maybe there being the potential that Cynthia Bailey could return as well. So I don't know. Listen, we're going to probably continue to go around this mulberry bush for another month or so, because apparently, according to Tamara Tattles, the executives at Bravo cannot make up their mind. And that's what seems to be happening. Make up your mind, people. Again, all articles and all sources will be linked down in the description down below. The exclusive from Tamara Tattles, as well as the information from page 6, will all be listed down below. What y'all think? I mean, I'm almost over it at this point. Just give me the spinoffs. Give me Candy's spinoff. Let me see what that's given. Okay, let me see what Porsha's spinoff is given. And then I'll make up my mind about what I want from the Real Housewives of Atlanta for season 14. Because right now, I mean, it just seems like casting is a cluster F. Okay. Now, with that being said, we will continue to bring you guys more news, more speculation, more commentary, more reviews and recaps as the days go by. But make sure you guys keep it locked right here. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell button, and I will catch you in the next video.